Okay, so just like yesterday, we're going to follow our 3 steps. Okay, so step 1, our breaks in our domain. So today's problem, we have -3 and 4. So again, I come here to -3, 1, 2, 3, -3. I draw my vertical dotted line. Then I go over to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I draw that dotted line. Okay, just like that. So that's step 1. Again, I'm going to color code. So this one's going to be my red function. That happens when x is less than -3. Then this one is going to be my blue function, and it happens in between -3 and 4. And then the green one's my last one, which is greater than 4. Now, again, if your domain is set up like this, like I set up my domains, where everything is drawn with the less than or equal, basically the side that x is on is telling you which side of that line it's going to show up on. So if you notice here on the first one, since it's less than or equal to x is on the left of -3, that's why it's telling me it's on the left side of -3 right here. This is -3. Because this x is in between the -3 and 4, it should be in between the -3 and 4, which it is right here. And then the last one is x being on the right. It's on the right of +4. And again, I try not to write this because traditionally we always write the smaller number on the left. And this is x is bigger. This would be 5 is greater than or equal to 4, which is a true statement, but we don't write 5 on the left side. We usually write the smaller number on the left. And that's just something that we always do. Okay? All right, so again, that was step 1. We got our lines, breaks in our domain. Step 2, we're actually going to plug the values in. So right here in the first one, the red one, I'm going to look what numbers are right here that I'm going to plug into my first one. Just -3. So I'm literally going to take -3 and I'm going to plug it into my equation right here. So -3 times -2 is +6, and +6 minus 5 is 1. So I come over to this line and I put that point there. Now we get check, is it an open circle or a closed circle? And since it's equal to, we close it. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing for my blue one. So we're going to plug in both -3 and 4. But this is the constant function. So it's going to be constant at -3. So on the line at -3, it's at -3. 1, 2, 3. Open circle there. And on the line at 4, it's also going to be 1, 2, 3. Down. An open circle there, because neither of those are equal to. Then we're going to do the same thing for the last one, for the green one. This one only has 1 to plug in. We're going to plug in 4. So plug 4 in for x. 4 times 1/2 is 2. And then 2 minus 4 is -2. So I'm going to go here on this line. I'm going to go down -2. And since it's equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. It's going to look like that. So now we're on step 3, which means that we're going to use our equations to graph the other pieces. So I have 3 pieces I'm going to graph. So let's do the easiest one first, which is the constant function. So the blue one in the middle. Because it's a constant function, it's just a horizontal line. So it connects those 2 points like that. So that's the easiest one. So that's 1/3 of my graph right there. Now, let's do the red one. Again, at this point, since we're just using a linear function, we can either use the slope, rise over run. So for instance, this is -2 is the rise and the run is 1. So we could either use a slope or, worst case scenario, plug in, say, -4. If I plugged in -4, -4 times -2 is 8. And then 8 minus 5 is 3. So right here, I go up 1, 2, 3. And there's another point. Okay? Or, like I said, you can use a slope. All right. So that means that this is this part of the line. And like I said, you can either use a slope, but be careful if you're using the slope, because our intuition is to go down 2 and over 1 to this side, but we can't draw any points over there on that side of that line. Okay, so just be careful when you're doing the slope. And then the last piece is that other linear function. And again, so this one, you can obviously see the rise over run. So you could either use the slope or, like I said, you could plug in another point. But I'm going to use the slope on this one. So the rise is 1. So you go up 1, over 2, up 1, over 2. And it looks like that. And that's it. So make sure you follow all 3 steps. And then make sure the last step is going to be making sure it's a function. So at this point, you should do your vertical line tests. And if you have any overlap, then you know you did something wrong, because these should all be functions. Okay? So for instance, like here, if I did the line the other way, and I did my vertical line test, that would be telling me that I did something wrong, because it doesn't pass. Okay? So always double check your answers.